Hi everyone. So today we are going to do two projects. So this beautiful red Alocasia Secret, Red Secret, it came as a starter plug and I put it in this little small 2-inch pot. It is ready to move up to a new pot, so we're just going to do a quick repot of that today. And then we also are going to do some troubleshooting on this arrowhead milk confetti. So first we're going to start with the easy project. Now this guy, since he is in a plug, we are just very carefully, and his soil is actually wet. He has put out one new leaf and has dropped one leaf. Ooh, wrong pot. Helper, can you put a scoop of soil in the bottom of this pot for me, please? We are just using my, this is the soil that I used when it came. It is, as always, my mix of orchard bark. I like a lot of perlite. I tend to use a succulent mix in a lot of my soil because I don't like stuff to get super wet. But as you can see, I didn't mess with his root ball or anything. I just popped him out of that one, and we are gonna fill in around this one. I am not adding any worm castings or anything like that at this point. I am going to let him settle into this pot, the bigger pot. I do have another pot. Like I said, I like to bottom water, and this has a deep bottom in it, so he can sit down in here. I can pull him out, bottom water, and then if I would have to worry, this bottom actually pops off also. But like I said, simple and easy with him. I could tell he needed more soil. He was really moving around a lot. In his other pot, it was just too tiny for him, and he actually had a root sticking up at the top of the other soil. So I felt he was ready to move. He has a tiny little new leaf starting. I just cut the old leaf off. I waited until it completely yellowed, and then I went ahead and cut it off because this is the new leaf that it put out. So it absorbed all the nutrients from the old leaf, which is typical for this type of plant. Now we're gonna move ahead, and I'm actually not gonna sanitize this or anything because my other plant is a very healthy plant and it was my soil it came out of, so I wasn't worried. But I will after this guy, just in case. So I noticed last week, this guy had a few tiny original baby leaves. I thought maybe it was just dropping those because, I don't know if you can see, there's some new growth coming in. This is a brand new leaf that hasn't even opened up the whole way. So I thought maybe it was just dropping off some leaves. But I noticed that after I took those small leaves off, I noticed these guys started yellowing, and even this guy here is starting to yellow. So I am not sure this is in my soil mix, but I want to do a root check on it. So as you can see, it's in super heavy perlite soil. I want to check these roots. Sometimes you just gotta check your roots and see what's going on. So as I'm looking here, so I see this is like we got some, those are just kind of compact, but I'm not gonna mess with them. A few of these feel a tad soft. Now see, not everyone may agree with my method on roots, but I feel like if you can't, you know, you do need to be delicate with them, but if I run my fingers over and a root comes off, that is not a root that I want on here. Now a lot of this is just dirt coming off. Now see, that was a root that just came off with barely any touch, and I'm wondering if some of this is because, see, I don't know if you can see this like ball right here. This was from the original big box store soil, and a lot of times they put it in that awful like, they don't put it in good drainage. They put it in like the lightest weight you know, stuff they can put it in, because lighter weight, more they can send, cheaper than, you know, quality soil. So I'm gonna continue to break some of this up. I don't like to be this invasive with my plants unless they start showing me there's a problem. And at first, like I said, when there was a couple leaves that dropped, oh, we have a kitty saying hello to us today. Would you like to move the kitty for me? Because he doesn't seem like he has any plans to move himself. So you can see I am going through and really breaking up this old soil on here. And as you can tell, like, I am definitely being not horribly rough, but firm with these roots. And these guys are all hanging in here because you want the good roots. You don't want to leave anything that might be rotting or questionable. But as you can tell here, we actually have two separate plants. But I am gonna keep them together. And let's see, these roots don't look bad to me. They were just really wet inside. Like, I don't know if you guys could see the difference. You can tell that some of this is the soil that it came out of. See how it's like, it's just more, it's real light, but it's dense and it holds a lot of water, which is not what you want. And you can tell this is what was on top from my mix. So I think what I'm gonna do to keep an eye on this guy, I'm not too worried. I mean, this is a decent amount of roots, and like I said, these all had good tugs. They are okay. This one, roots are definitely a little smaller. I don't know about this one. I might that's pretty small thing of roots here. I'm thinking, and surprisingly, this is the one that just put out the brand new leaf. I think I might put this in, I always keep things like old medicine containers and stuff, because you can put a little bit of water in here and you can very closely keep an eye on what is happening with the roots. I think I'm gonna let this guy root some, and I'm gonna keep an eye on him. So my son's gonna go grab some water and get that set up. I am gonna use a clear pot for this guy. I actually put a little too much dirt in here. Yep, so you can see we're gonna put him over should have really started with just a little bit of soil on the bottom. And we're gonna sit him down in here so you can see the roots. We want a little bit below, and then we want enough that we cover the top. So we're gonna shake this soil in, because like I said, this is my soil mix. There's nothing wrong with this mix. You can see how dry it is because it's pouring in easily. He was due to be watered, which also had me a little questioning a little bit what was going on, because it wasn't completely dried out, but it shouldn't have been dropping leaves the way it was. So I think it was the just that old soil compacted around the root ball that it rotted some of those roots. So now I will be able to keep a close eye. Remember where I saw that like patch of tight roots? I can see that clearly. I will be able to keep a close eye on the root progress, and I'll be able to pull this guy out faster if I think it needs it. I am going to go ahead and water this some. As I said, this is dry. I'm probably going to end up losing these 2 leaves. I'll wait until they dry up some, but we'll have to probably remove them at a point in the near future, but at least I can keep an eye on him. You know, and I like to sit my stuff in pots. I use cups, stuff like that, you know, so that way and this has a little, I put little things in the bottom so they don't sit flat. Like this is just the lid of a medicine cup flipped over, so it just holds it up, and this way it doesn't get knocked over easily or anything like that. And we'll keep an eye on this guy and see how he does. But that is all for today. We have to run. We've got stuff to do. No more playing with plants for today.